Hey guys,
We're back.
I go by Nick.
And I'm Angela.
And we're And Forever. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And click on the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as we release a new video.
Because you don't want to miss what we got coming up next.
Not a single one.
So this video is going to be a very fun video. If you happen to hear our kids in the background, they're actually taking a nap. So this is our time where we can, give you guys
a video.
yeah, and give you guys our story on how we purchased our first home. How do we save for our first home?
Yes, and it's definitely doable. It took a little bit of self-control, I'll say, so we definitely had to know what our goal was and not deviate and go spend and stuff. So we're basically going to tell you the steps that we took in order to get to where we are right now in our home. 3
steps.
Yes.
But we know for anybody purchasing their first home, it could be real nerve-wracking. You can be nervous about it. You can feel like you can't do it. But if we can do it, trust me, you can do it.
Yeah.
So we're going to tell you how we did it. And hopefully you guys get some motivation to go ahead and go forth and make it happen. So the first thing we did was we got married.
Yes, we got married and we lived in an apartment. And when we got married, we asked everyone to give us money instead of regular gifts because we knew we wanted to be able to purchase our own things and just not have to worry about gifts and then having to return the gifts, and we just wanted money.
Yeah, because during a wedding, who knows what you're gonna get? You're gonna get tablecloths you're never gonna use.
We had lots of glasses and silverware and stuff, and we just wanted money.
Yeah. So that money we received from the wedding, we just saved it. Every single last bit of it, we put it to the side. We said we are not touching this, and we're just gonna sit on it, and whenever we need it,
and just wait.
Yeah, we became saving hoarders.
Yes.
Our bank account, we would just throwing money into it.
Yeah. We knew we wanted eventually to get a home because our apartment had cockroaches in it.
Let's just keep it frank.
It had not those big palmetto cockroaches. It had those little German roaches. When you see one, you have 100. We had cockroaches, and we hated it.
Yep. Humble beginnings.
Yes, we knew eventually we were going to have children, and we did not want to have kids in our apartment, cockroaches crawling on them in the middle of the night into their ears. We didn't want that. We also knew that we didn't want to move from an apartment to another apartment or another rental.
Yeah, we knew we wanted to move into a home.
Yes, we said this is going to be the only time we rent, and it's going to be that apartment.
So before we get too far into when we purchased our home, what motivated us to just go forth and do it was I went to a friend's house, and when I went to his house, he was in a nice neighborhood, and I was like, wow, this is a nice neighborhood in a great location. Living in Miami, it's hard to find affordable locations that are nice neighborhoods. But his was a nice, well-kept neighborhood, and it was a great location, not too far from my job. It was far from hers, but not too far from my job. So I was like, you kind of motivated me to start looking for a home. So I went back to Angela, and I showed her, I didn't show her his house. I showed her the location. I think the next day we drove around the neighborhood, and she was like, yeah, it's decent. I think I can live here, because she was always nervous about where she wanted to live. She grew up in Canada, and I
just always felt safe in Canada. I never worried about what neighborhood I lived in.
Canada and Miami is like night and day. So she was very weary about where she was going to live. So I was like, I think I found a good neighborhood for us that we can actually raise our kids. And she was like, yeah, I kind of like this neighborhood. So that started our journey into looking for our first home.
Yes.
So the first step that we took was we saved money. Like we said before, we saved all our money from our wedding. That was a jump start for our savings account.
Yes.
And then on top of that, what did we do?
We both had a job, but we lived off of Nick's income. And we saved probably around 60% of my income, because my income was a lot lower than Nick's income.
Yeah.
So we saved about 60% of my income the whole way until we purchased our home.
Yeah.
While I was working. So
I would say about two and a half years, going on 3 years.
Yes.
We were just saving. So we were basically, I would say, living off of my income and saving hers. So if you're a couple, that's a great idea. If you can just find a way to budget yourself and live off of one income and save the other into different portions, that would be that would be excellent because it worked for us. So I would say in a span of 2.5 years, we saved about $22,000.
Yeah, $22,000.
$22,000. Imagine looking at your bank account and seeing $22,000.
And never seeing a deduction or withdrawal come out of it. It was so nice to see.
Oh my goodness. It was nice to see, but it's just like, I just want to use it. But I mean, hey, we saved it up and it worked out for the best.
We had a goal.
Yeah, we had a goal. So we knew we became saving hoarders. So we knew that eventually we were going to use that money for something big. And the only big thing we could use it for is a home.
A home, yeah.
We weren't going to use it for a car.
No.
That wasn't happening.
And that's another thing. We had a very old car that was paid off.
Yeah, we had a car that was paid off. So that helped a lot. That helped us save a lot too.
Yeah.
So after we got approved for a home loan, we started our calculations.
Yeah.
That's step 2. Step 2, we started our calculations. What we mean by calculations is we added up all of our monthly income to see how much we actually made a month, like on a monthly basis, how much money we made, our net, not our gross, how much we made monthly. So we added that up, and then we added up our expenses. Expenses that we knew that wasn't going to go away. And what were some of those expenses?
FPL, so our electricity, water,
groceries. We added everything. Groceries,
car insurance, haircut. What else did we
car
add?
Insurance,
cell phone bill,
gas.
Yeah, everything. And we did it on like the worst case scenario.
Worst
so, like,
case.
The highest it could possibly go.
So let's say our light bill. If our light bill was like, let's say $80, we put $120.
Yeah.
We put a higher number. So we did that for every bill and we added it all up to an X amount of dollars.
And we had to figure out what would also be like owning a home, what new bills we would get. Because when we lived in our apartment, we didn't pay for water and we didn't pay for like garbage and stuff.
Well, we eventually paid for water.
Yeah, probably the last year, but we only paid $30.
Yeah.
So we had to figure out what our water bill was going to be in a home, our electricity bill would be in a home. Because that's much different from living in a 1-bedroom apartment.
So we added that up and then we deducted it from our monthly income and we saw how much money we had left over. So that money, we knew this is the number we can afford when it comes to a mortgage. Yes. So we took that number and we stuck with it. So our calculations, that's what we had, and we stuck with that number, and we knew when we find a home, this is how much we can pay for our home on a monthly basis.
Yeah. And with like what Nick was saying, so we knew what we could afford. When you go to apply for a loan, like they'll ask you for all this information, all your banking information and your pay information, and then they'll figure out like how much they want to give you, and they know the risk. They say, okay, you're making X amount of dollars. We know that you can pay us back every month. The thing that they, like the realtor and the bank don't realize is you also have to live within like the money that you're showing them. So you need to pay for a mortgage to pay the bank back, but you also have to live. And for us, yes, we could afford like this big amount that they said, like they approved us for, but we also are tithers. And so that our tithe was like a big portion of our income.
Yes.
Yeah. And so like we knew we still had to tithe and pay our bills and eat. And so that was like a little like hurdle that we needed to get through, especially because like they want to show us like houses in like the top part of what we were approved for.
Yeah.
But we knew we didn't want to have to like ever worry if worst case scenario came, like where are we going to get this extra money from to pay our mortgage?
Step 3.
We started looking for the house that we wanted.
Yeah.
So remember Nick had mentioned that he saw where his friend had lived, that neighborhood. We were gung-ho. That was the neighborhood we wanted to live in.
We wanted that neighborhood badly. That neighborhood was perfect.
We would drive around this neighborhood all the time. That is where we wanted to live. And so
our realtor kept taking us to that neighborhood, and we were looking at
because we were approved, like we could afford the houses in that neighborhood. Like on paper, we could afford the house in that neighborhood.
Like one of the first homes that we did we fall in love with it?
Yeah, it was our first home.
We really we loved it.
On the computer, when we were looking at it, we loved the house.
Yeah, so we went to go see it, and we were like, yeah, this home is nice. It had a pool. It had a big backyard.
That's the thing. Sometimes pools take over your backyard. This had a gigantic backyard, and it still had a pool.
A gigantic backyard.
And it was fenced in.
It was fenced in. It was perfect.
All redone.
But it was about $298,000. And we were like, that's on the high end of what we wanted to pay. We wanted to pay closer to the twos, to the lower twos.
And that was closer to the threes.
That was closer to the threes. So we was like, we were able to afford it, but we knew, like I said before, that we were gonna be like up to our neck trying to pay for it every single. And who knows, you may lose a job, and you may lose a job, and then once somebody loses a job, now you're struggling.
Yes.
You're struggling to pay this off. So we were like, no, we don't want that to happen. And we wanted it, but we had to decline that one.
Yes, because another thing is property taxes. Something we never had to worry about and we didn't even know anything about.
Yeah.
Property taxes in certain neighborhoods, so expensive. And so even though we could afford those houses in that neighborhood, the lowest property tax we saw on any house we looked in that neighborhood was $5,000 a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So that was going to be on top of our mortgage. And property tax is so unpredictable. Like just in our house alone, every year it's gone up about $200.
Yeah.
And so when it goes up, your mortgage goes up because it's all intertwined in one.
Yeah, so we were kind of sad that we couldn't get that home. I mean, we were going back and forth on it a lot, but we just knew in our hearts that we didn't want to be struggling trying to pay off that one. So we passed on that one, and it was so hard. We kept looking and looking and looking probably every weekend, and then we actually gave up. We actually called our realtor, who was actually one of my friends. And I told him, I was like,
we're going to take a break.
We're going to take a break.
It was super stressful.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. And so we took a break, and then Nick and I collectively decided maybe this area, this neighborhood is not where we need to be. Even though we loved it and we could just picture like white picket fence and you could just picture yourself growing up and raising your children. We knew that we really couldn't afford it.
Yeah. So we took a break, and our realtor was disappointed, of course. So, he gave us some time, and we were just saving. We was like, we're just going to continue to save and just see what happens. So we weren't even thinking about a home anymore. We wanted to find a place, but we were just like, okay, we don't even want to think about it. We are stressed from that, and it was feeling good. And then I got a call from our realtor saying, hey.
No, hold on, wait. So we hadn't been thinking about a home, but we were coming to the end of our lease in our apartment. And when Nick first moved in, we were paying like $725, and to renew our lease we were gonna have to pay $1,100, and we were like, no, we didn't want to have to pay that much money. So we moved our stuff into storage, and we moved in with his parents. We lived in a one bedroom, in their house. So all of our stuff was in their one bedroom. And that was a good way for us to save money. And then Nick got a call one day.
I got a call, and it was from our realtor. He came back. He was like, listen, bro, we got to find a house right now. The market is good right now. He was giving me that talk. He knew he was so close to making a sale. We were perfectly qualified. He was like, no, I'm not going to let them go. In other words. But he was like, hey, the market is hot right now. Listen, bro, the prices are good right now. We're going to find a home for you. So I believe the next showing, he showed us 3 or 4 homes, and the home we ended up buying, this home, was one of those homes. So it didn't even take long when he came back. And once that happened, we were going back and forth, of course, with the seller, and eventually we got it to the price that we wanted to get it to, which was $212,000. That was perfect for us. It was down to where we wanted it to be.
Yeah, so like when we didn't mention, when we were looking at our house, the criteria that we wanted a house that didn't require any amount of fixing.
Yeah.
That wasn't something we had budgeted for. So we wanted a house that we didn't have to fix up floors and roofs and anything. And usually like when you want a house, you want a nice kitchen and you want your bathrooms to be nice.
Yeah.
And so we lucked out with this home.
Lucked up.
Like when we started windows, we didn't even think about windows. Our house is completely hurricane impact windows, which if you're not from anywhere that has hurricanes, it's such a big
Very
deal.
important,
Yes.
So everything worked out. We knew at first when we looked at the neighborhood, we was like, but eventually we was like, okay, we'll try it out. And we moved in, and it's been perfect for us, and we're happy here, and it all worked out. So I mean, it took a while. It took I would say about 9 to 10 months of searching to find it. So when you guys do decide to find your first home, it may not be right when you want it. It's going to take some time, but you got to be patient. And we had some patience. It got tested a lot, but we eventually, found what we were looking for.
Yeah, because it definitely like takes your patience, because we saw a house before this that we had put an offer in, and then inspection came back terrible, so we pulled that out super fast. And those moments is when I become super anxious. I'm like, oh no, like what if we move into the house and then everything starts falling apart?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, but we're definitely so fortunate to have this house, and we're so happy with it, and it's in our budget. And we didn't even say, like, as soon as we bought this house, I left my job. And so like we had calculated everything that we could afford off of 2 incomes. And now we are down to 1 income. And, you know,
and we can still afford it.
We haven't ever struggled.
We haven't struggled with it. Thank God. We haven't struggled with this home. And we're just thankful that, you know, we're able to afford it on 1 income, because it was totally unexpected that she was going to leave her job. But, you know, things happen. And we're still here because we made the right decision to in the very beginning, not to get a home that we couldn't afford. So that worked out excellent for us.
Yeah, completely. Like, it was perfect because I left my job. We have 2 kids, and we're not feeling the burden because we knew what we could afford and we didn't want to live beyond our means.
So we made the right plans in the beginning. So those were the 3 steps that we took. You know, we started off by saving money. That was the first step we did.
Most important one.
Yep, save money. The second one was calculations. That's most important too. They're all important. The calculations, she was jumping. That's the most important one. You gotta have money though, because if you don't have money, you can't even look. So the calculations, kept making sure that we calculated our income and how much our bills would be, so we can make sure we made the right decision on our purchase. And the third one was we started looking. I mean, it sounds easy. It's not as easy as it sounds, but if you simplify it, it will be easier than, you know, it can actually be if you don't plan.
Like, don't jump to start looking before you have money saved, or before you
calculate your how much you making and stuff. And
saving money, you need to have money saved because down payments exist.
And of course, you know, get your credit as good as you can. Get your credit good. So, I mean, those are the 3 things that we did. Hopefully, you know, the way we saved for our first home can give you some motivation to start saving for yours, and, you know, give you some confidence.
And we're still going to take these methods, so whenever, maybe in a few years or 10 years from now, when we are ready to maybe get a bigger home, we're going to do this steps all over again.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more videos, you already know what you need to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And comment something down below if you'd like to see a particular video, some type of budget saving, budget friendly. Just let us know in the comment section.
All right. See you on the next video.
Bye.